Hello everyone, I am Ankit Patel and on behalf of Dhaul Vyas and Rajesh Patel, I would like to welcome you on to the poster presentation on making resilience transition towards net zero freight transport through socio-economic, regulatory and political factors, case study of Mehsana city in India. The goal of this study is to determine how users perceive socio-economic, regulatory and political effects to achieve the transition to net zero freight transport. We are all aware of the increasing expansion of urbanization, which will result in about 60% of the population living in the cities by 2030. This will account for around 36% of the additional number of freight vehicles on the road. Due to travel population, we have recently confronted a number of obstacles. For example, in India, 90% of CO2 emissions are attributed to road transportation alone. This is a warning for future generations and posed a significant question in the 2015 Paris Accord. Looking at a broader context, we may conclude that electrification of vehicles, especially uh, freight fleets, is an effective and long-lasting solution for governments and users to achieve the UN sustainable goals. We have conducted focus group interviews from the residents of the Indian city of Mehsana in order to discover solution for net zero freight transit. The rationale for choosing is pretty apparent. First, the literacy rate of Mehsana is greater than 80%. Second, the city is located on the Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor. Third, it is renowned for its dairy products. Fourth, it is an automobile hub of Honda Motors and Suzuki Motors. You can see that the demographic statistic of the whole 108 participants uh, is given. Participants of female respondents was lower than that of the males due to the quantity of female freight transport drivers. Despite this, there are sufficient female drivers available for daily driving in the city. Regarding the age, around 80% of drivers are under the age of 40. As indicated previously, Mehsana has a higher literacy rate and 78% of participants have graduated high school. We have observed that the employability rate is greater than 50% and that the proportion of drivers with more than 2 years of experience is approximately 60%. 70% of participants were driving rather than riding as a passenger. In addition, they are confident that electric vehicles are safe for future freight transport. Incidentally, the majority of respondents believe that by deploying electrical vehicles for small and medium freight transport, respectively 43% and 35%, we can achieve net zero emissions targets more quickly than the larger freight transport system, which is 21%. Uh, Here we discuss about socio-economic factors and regulatory factors as well as the political factors. All the analysis presented here are based on the 5-point scale. Users place the most priority on environmental issues about 4.35 among the 8 socio-economic variables. This indicates their awareness of climate change in the present day. The uses of electric cars is the second most popular option with the weightage of 3.89, while 3.65 of the total respondents were interested in innovative technologies for electric freight vehicles. This is a great result, especially for a community with only about 190,000 residents. Regarding the regulatory standards, we primarily evaluated 5 elements. A total of 4.42 of respondents have placed a greater emphasis on charging infrastructure. This may be owing to the fact that people in Mehsana prefer electric vehicles, yet they require more charging stations for their fleets. At the same time, 4.33 of users were knowledgeable with battery management solution. It demonstrates that people are also aware of issues with battery management system. The third component is the incentives to purchase electric vehicles, which has a 4.03 weightage. Hence, there is a direct evidence that users are eager to purchase their new fleets as EVs if the government provides further incentives. And in addition of the political factor, we have measured user response on 8 political aspects as shown. Mehsana's socio-demographic climate is such that 4.28 of the population seeks help for new company development. Simultaneously, they desire that the rule of law must be upheld in the city to the tune of about 4.23. Corruption is an essential aspect in the modern world, yet it receives less attention in our city with a weightage of around 4.21. This directly demonstrates the current government's effective administration. There are several recommendations based on our experience with the user interviews is the first one is even if the vehicle is being sold to transport freight, the buyer's preference must be taken into account. The second one is encourage the use of electric vehicles for both public and freight transportation. And the last, users are certain that the EV revolution would continue unabated despite government instability. Thank you very much for your time.